It's old, Dustin. 2021. It's M. Night Shyamalan, based off of the comic book Sandcastles. It's starring a bunch of people. I'm not going to rattle off their names. And it's basically a Universal Pictures joint, July 19th to be exact, 108 minutes. 18 million was how much the budget be, and it made 90. That's pretty good. It's a thumbs up, Shama. You're doing it.
Yeah, it's a true Shama return to form. It's no Sixth Sense money, but it's doing fine. It's making enough.
Listen, this is the first M. Night movie, not his real name, M. Night movie that I've seen in a very long time. I've kind of swore this guy off just because a lot of his narrative stylings and characters and direction, just basically him as a filmmaker, just really wasn't hitting home for me. I just lost interest in, I don't want to say his gimmicks because I find that very unfair. But after The Happening, where basically grass was killing people, I kind of had to tap out. Like, I love high concept. I love a lot of the fun ideas. I love this guy. He takes risks. I think that's incredible. I think that's admirable. It's bold, especially in the Hollywood system on these high levels. I just feel a lot of the execution is just not being done correctly. And he has to put these notable stars or these kind of like stars you don't need to direct or won't take direction, Bruce Willis, and put him in a lot of the movies to carry the movie because he's not an actor's director.
I think he's not pulling a performance at anyone.
And Old is a monumental example of no one knows how to act here. I think they might be actors in other movies or plays or television. I just think he can't get performances out of these people that resonate or have conviction. It's hard to watch. I mean,
like my biggest point would be the two most notable male actors from this. The guy who played Guy, like that guy's a tremendous actor. Like when he's given the right role. This was when he started off spouting out dad insurance fucking things of like coffee tables fucking kill knees. I was just like, okay, man, this is not gonna end well for you. And then Rufus Swell. Rufus Swell plays just cringy bad guy perfectly, and in this I was just just the cringy part right now. Just
he's like I don't
real on my side though, ooh, shit, man. And then the rest of the people, I was just I recognize that guy from Pig because when we talked about Pig, I saw that this was on his credits. And
Alex Wolff.
Yeah, but even then he wasn't even in the movie that fucking much. I was like, oh, okay. Mm. But everyone else, I was like, yeah, all right. The couple without the kid,
Ken Lung, the Asian dude.
Those two horrible. I felt like they were re-auditioning for the movie every time they're on the camera.
They had the vibe of the script was just being changed, and they really didn't know what they were supposed to. They knew what the scene was going to be, but they were just told to go with it, and they really weren't sure what it was.
When she was just let's just maybe we all talk about it. I was just someone just died.
What's there to talk about?
Yeah, no, there's no. What conversation do you want to have?
Yeah, we need to project our feelings. Everyone just needs to divulge something private and intimate about each other so we can trust each other and so we can trust others. Just, I'm like, no, bitch, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, before we dive too hard into this movie, my biggest gripe of what doesn't work, because I found the concept very interesting, the kids aging and that's the big hook is the kids have to age, the main stars can't really age out because then you're just okay, fucking that was a short movie. And M. Night was no, this is a long movie and probably my longest role in a movie since Signs, I'm gonna say, maybe.
Yeah, the grapes on this guy.
Yeah, I was just like, geez. And I was like, dude, it's like he does not know how to act here. He's like, I just fucking call or something. I was just like, okay, M. Night, like, calm down. I know you want to like get out and
If
behind the
he
camera again, but like act like you want to be in the scene that you put yourself in, fucker. Like, what the hell?
if he was just simply the driver, I would have been fine with it. Like you just see him in the rear view. He goes,
Yeah, it was
"Hey,
just
hey guys, just go over here and call me when you get back." And then you kind of just see him from behind. I don't think you ever need to see his face. And then he closes the door
yeah.
and drives
But
away.
instead
He
he was
goes,
like,
"The guy didn't even help us."
he
But
was
no,
just
he's
like,
in there. He's in the
fucking
mix.
kids eat a lot. Like I was like, what? And then he's the whole reason the fucking catalyst of the end of the movie happens. I was like,
He's in the
fucking
mix, bro. He's in the mix. That's all I saw. And I was like, "You."
he is the mix. He's the mixter. He's the blade in the mixing bowl. Spin, spin, spinning. Um, but aside from that, the and I get it's short. Things are happening fast. I don't know how to react to my child just like aging a significant amount instantly. I don't really buy their reaction though. I mean, I think it's hard to figure out what the reaction would be,
Dustin,
but it's
the
not
reaction,
this.
their reactions were the dumbest reaction to anything.
Yeah, they were like hug but push away, hug, push away. I was like, what?
Hey,
No.
have you
I'd
seen
be
my
like,
kids? Mom, it's me. Bitch, how many other kids are on the beach? You've seen
yeah.
six
Where did you
people. You can see the whole encompassing beach if you look to one side left and look to one side right. There is a cave, and then there's the tide,
do
there's
you
the
think more
breakwater.
people showed up?
Like there's no like just for everyone to get like perspective of the way this takes place. This beach is blocked off by this like cliffside. It's almost just you can't miss anyone here.
You know.
And you're wandering around. Like I could see if there was like dozens of people here and they're just all just kind of I've lost my child. I'm in a mall, but no, you're on a beach, bitch. And there's like it's like a little small area and then she's like, "Mother, it's me." And the mom's like, I should have that mother instinct where I look and I feel familiar and I have a kinship and a connection to my child, but my child didn't have a beard and a fucking
Or
stogie.
yeah.
I left
Or
him.
the exact opposite of fear and terror, and that's not my child, that's not my child. And they
Exactly. I am
lose their fucking
hallucinating.
mind.
The spores on the beach are fucking with my brain. I'm
Yeah.
tripping
But
balls.
but after that first fucking initial shock, they just accept them every time they age. It's just like, it's fine. They're older.
Yeah. The biggest the biggest kind of checkout moment is that so you know they're going to age and you can age the actors and I was just talking about this it would have really been successful if you got to see a couple of in-camera aging moments with the older cast, the
Well,
adults.
that's why I go to the stage play type feel.
Yeah,
Because
for the
it was a
panning
hard
and
cut every
covering
time.
and holding it. Yeah, holding what you can see visually. There's a little girl on there. I think she's like 8 or something, and she turns like 11 in like 2 seconds in front of you. But you constantly have the camera stuck to her left ear, and her hair is
Yeah.
just. And I'm like, is her hair gonna turn gray? Is she gonna get up and like vote? Like, what's going on?
Not on this beach. On this
And then
beach, we
she
don't have
just
time for politics.
but it's almost like, and I was like, is this supposed to show that they're filming themselves? Is this supposed to be like an intimate family, like handy cam moment? Because there's parts where they're running around, just having a fucking piss, just loving life. And I was like, is this supposed to help me connect with them as a family unit, even though they're kind of always low key bickering? I feel like every time the core family, the daughter, she's like a tween, and then the little boy, he's like 10 or something, and then the main family, I feel like they're having a different conversation every time they spoke. Like no one's hearing what the other person says, or they're not reacting to the other dialogue they're hearing.
They really were. They
It was like I show you on camera, Dustin, you say your line, and then you
yeah.
back there,
I didn't
you say
believe
your
them as
line.
a family.
I didn't believe in
I'm
this.
just gonna say that.
I
Like
didn't
every
believe it.
family's different, but it just their cohesiveness wasn't there for me. It was just
It
like
was not existed. They took turns speaking. I didn't feel like there was a flow in the dialogue, especially when it starts to break down and they have to try to figure out what to do and how to act. Everyone just like the camera went around. You say your line. Now you say your line. Now wait, let's have fun. You say his line. And they act. They were like, what? I don't.
they're like, okay, M Night's crazy today. What's that guy's character name? Mid-sized sedan, you say?
Yeah, and I was like,
that was my favorite part of the movie, Kevin.
I didn't understand when they spoke. I was like, what did he call him? Are they looking for the mid-sized sedan to drive them back home? Are they referencing that gentleman?
I see.
He's a rapper?
Is mid-sized sedan.
Why don't you just put little in front of his name and anything? Just look around the room. Little Pop-Tart.
No, man. Then you're getting sued by Kellogg's.
Little 4-5. That means he's got that thing on him. There you go. I just saved you from being called mid-sized sedan.
No, mid-sized sedan was the best part of this movie, Kevin. It was amazing.
I'm going to have to go ahead and
M. Night was just like, here's what I think of rap music. Mid-sized sedan. Fuck you.
No, man. I would disagree on the best part of the movie because I felt the best part of the movie was when that girl ate the pasta salad with her fist. And I was like, you know what? You are growing up, but did we forget manners?
Yes.
And I was like, is the pasta salad hitting that good? Is it good? Can I have any?
You've
eaten it all?
So that was the actress I was telling you when I was looking at her pictures off, like, you know, just her normal, like, check out me for other movies, like, pictures. It's just her eyes are so much smaller than the rest of her face that it makes her head look swollen. I was just like, oh my God. Like the picture I saw her like shocked me for a minute because I was like, she don't look like that in a movie. What the fuck's up with this photo? Why did we put this on our profile page here? What the hell?
Maybe she needs to different agent.
No, she really does, because even on this other website I'm looking at, fucking horrible photos exist of her. Like, not great. Not great. So
Dustin, you better get to
it before the people get old and tired and bored.
Yeah, they're like, this gimmick's getting old. You two dildos need to get on with it.
We're in a van. There is some romantic tension because the children are sitting together, but the parents are sitting apart. If the parents are sitting apart.
Wait, romantic tension?
Yeah.
Like you got no romance. You got a vibe of romance?
No, I'm saying that they were intentionally sitting apart, so there was no romance.
Oh, dude, I
didn't say romantic tension. I said
That's what I thought you said, and I was like,
romantic.
Well,
no, I did say movie. Romantic. Okay, there is marital strife. Okay,
thank you.
Mom and dad are sitting apart. The daughter's singing poorly.
God,
the mother is just like, "You go, girl." And the daughter's like, "Shut the fuck up, Mom.
I'm going." I'm going hard.
It's fucking making me embarrassed about my own voice and body. She's just like, he's just so beautiful singing. I was like, no, she is not. And why are we going to do a callback to this later on?
Dude. I was like, she better sing later on or I'm going to be real upset, Shama.
Yeah, one fucking time.
Real upset. And then when she does sing at the end, I'm like,
you're like, boo.
Thank God they're deaf and blind right now.
Yeah, that was...
I'm blind, baby. I can't see where to fucking knock you out to get you to stop singing. And Mom was just nodding her head like, can't hear anything.
Yes. And they arrive at a island resort. We're not told what fucking island. Doesn't fucking matter.
Real posh. Probably
Hawaii. Let's be honest.
Hawaii.
They're given drinks instantly. They're like, I'm your special drink concierge based on your previously filled out surveys or some bullshit. And she's like, don't worry, kids. We got some shit over here for you, too.
Like, bro, where's my Dr. Pepper? I didn't want this. Dr. Pepper, and I want a frosted glass. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't order some bullshit. Why is this cup so weird?
Why is this whole lilac in my drink?
Yeah. What is that, a stone? Is that a sea sponge? Did you put a sea sponge in my fucking drink? Nah, I'll pass. This is some bullshit. Apparently, boozers will drink anything, Kevin. They see booze, they're just like, fucking, I don't care if there's like a half of a dick in that. I'm gonna fucking do it.
Oh, dude.
Look at this half dick whiskey. Tastes great, guys.
They're like, sir, you brought that from home. We don't sell that here.
You should look into it. This is a fucking internet investment if I've ever seen one.
You saw your profile.
I'm gonna start. That's the name of my whiskey company.
Half dick whiskey?
Half dick whiskey, because you can still get it kind of hard.
Oh.
That's the tagline. Thank you. You know that would sell on a shirt. I mean, the whiskey itself would not sell, but the shirt, That would sell. Anyway, we meet this creeper kid behind the fucking drink table, and he's just like, "Fucking, you gotta mix the drinks, man." And then the other kids are just like, "Hey, I'm awkward and weird, but this is our names. Let's be friends."
They were doing the thing where once the kid's in public, they just start running around. I was like, do kids just like say fuck rules when they're outside?
If you're on like an island vacation,
is the island air
like,
got them fucking
rules.
amped up?
Yeah, I mean, just like fuck rules, man.
Missed opportunity when they run to the fruit drink table where there's these giant pitchers of these great tropical drinks for the kids. Only the little, I would just call him the hotel kid. The hotel kid should have been stirring to the drinks with his arm. I would have been like, "Hey man,
this isn't a comedy. This is fucking M. Night." Yeah, if I saw some fucking kid, fucking monkey arm stirring a fucking drink, I'd be like, "All right, this movie's got my attention.
Give me a glass of that, please."
only if the other kid's like, "Ooh, a little salty," you know.
Ooh, my eye's supposed to burn.
But no, they're just fast friends. But then,
yeah, little kids, they'll be friends in 2 seconds. They're ready to die for each other in like 5 minutes.
Socially awkward plus no friends equals best friends instantly.
Well, they're both little nerds, and they were just like, "I got a con collection, and sometimes I call to the sea like Poseidon." He was like, "Wow, that's cool. I put crayons up my nose."
I ask people what the fuck they do for their living, and then just like awkwardly run on after that. I have 900 people's social security numbers in my head. You're like, all right, little shit, what the fuck? So then they're off to the hotel room. The guy got to check in, got to get their room situation. I did not like the room situation. It was a nice room, but I didn't understand where the fuck the kids were the whole time. Like all of a sudden in that like other scene, they were just like in a different area. I was like, where the fuck was that room?
They're just playing. If I don't see the kids, they're just playing. They're not around. Like if I'm an adult, I don't care where the kids are. They just need to show up when there's time for food or not. That's one less thing I gotta buy. And then
yet you're like, do kids just run around at hotels? And then you're basically giving permission. Hey, show up when the food happens because I'm not gonna take care of it later. Okay?
I mean,
that's the rule. That's the dad
rule. We are
rule.
on vacation, right? I don't understand.
Show up when the food's here. Or you're on your own. I don't give a fuck, okay? You end up on a wanted poster or a missing poster, that's on you, man. That's on you.
Kid 1, kid 2, here's the thing. Y'all run around, fuck shit up. I don't care. Just
thanks, Sandra Bullock, Dad.
Let them know that, you don't belong here. Your mom's going to, I don't know, just be a bitch because she's, dying with cancer, whatevs. And I'm going to just go cruise the pool for poom. All right, let's all get a hand in. Give me a little Bundy. They're like, what's a Bundy? I want to be like, these jokes are for me, children.
You think I fucking make things for you to laugh at? No, okay? Now fucking go get your stupid vanilla strawberry drink and drown in a pool somewhere.
Oh, dude.
Now instead, Guy. This is the most non-looking guy I've ever seen. This is no Guy Fieri. This is no like. His name being Guy, I was just like, that he's not a guy. We should have changed it. He's more of a Bernard, if anything. But like, no, he's not a guy. But Guy's like, hey, don't run around the fucking coffee table. 225 accidents happen in the home yearly, thanks to the coffee table. I was like, Jesus Christ, Guy, you don't have a coffee table in your house, do you?
250 child accidents happen in home every year. Due to dads beating dumbass kids for not listening. Let's not make it
fucking run around the goddamn coffee table.
Let's not make it 251. All right, now sit your monkey asses down. And they're just like, we're gonna get our swimsuits on, and you and mom can fight 2 seconds into the thing.
Yeah, they switched into their swimsuits super awkwardly quick. I was just like, ew.
Dude, I thought they were X-Men. They were ready to roll out.
Yeah,
we gotta stop Mastermind. Master Mold here. Senator Kelly.
I mean, that would be the island to do it. Like if Master Mold was on, that'd be more like Genosha Island, you know?
That's what I thought they were.
But like first Genosha where there's mutant slaves, or like second Genosha where the mutants are like, nah, this is our shit now.
This is our shit now.
This is our shit now. And then the third one where they get nuked by Xavier.
He
Killed a lot of mutants that day.
No mutants in paradise. That's why we got Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Jesus.
How come he's not an X-Men? He should be hunting them down.
Because he's a racist, okay?
He just has Gambit in the back of the van. He puts the smoke in his mouth. He's like, going away for a long time, you Cajun fuck. What do you smoke?
He's like, what are you? You Catholic though? Yeah, come on, Catholic brother. Talk to me.
Let's pray.
Let's pray real quick. I gotta put you in the slammer.
Hold on.
On the TV show.
Charge this cigarette up so we can smoke it together.
I'm not giving that dude fucking 2 minutes of fame, okay? He's a fucking racist. Anyway. So now we're at the beach. The kids are being annoying, running around, talking, doing stuff. The tween girl, she's staring at other kids that are very obviously older than her and their ripped bodies and just standing awkwardly by. I was like, classic kid move, that thing. I was just like, that's a classic kid move. I'll just stand here until they say something to me.
Why am I awkward?
And then they don't, because they're like, we're like super older. They're like, we're going to bang behind the fucking cafeteria after this. So and she's just like, I just want to play volleyball. And then it's off to their hotel room, where that's when the parents have their first fight.
Yeah.
They're getting divorced. They wanted one good last vacation for the kids. And they're saying this all behind a toilet paper roll door because the kids can hear every fucking word verbatim of what they're saying. And they're just like, we're fucking gonna have 2 Christmases, Trent. And Trent's like, yay. And then Maddox is like, all right, they're done fighting. And I guess there's, this is when it's revealed that the mom has some sort of medical condition, whatever. Next day, the island kid, I don't know, what are we calling this guy? Hotel kid?
Hotel kid.
The hotel kid gets yelled at to stay away from the fucking guests. And this is after the creepy hotel manager is just like, I want to invite you to a private beach because we all heard you yelling in your hotel room, and we really gotta keep that negative shit away from this. This is a tropical paradise.
I feel he was more kind of a used car salesman vibe, but just not so. He had a little bit of Die Hard villain on him. Yeah, but he wasn't as aggro. But you could see he's very fake in his customer service.
Yeah, no, it reeked of not being genuine,
which was fine. Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, fuck. I mean, if I'm on an island, like fake it so much, I don't care if it's real or not.
I mean, I'm on vacation.
Yeah. My kids are gonna run around and break shit. You cool with that? He's just like, absolutely, sir. I'm like, I know that was a no, but thank you for saying it that way. All right, I'll see you later. Kids, find me around dinner. Fucking whatever. I don't care.
Don't ever find
you got a buffet 24/7? All right, we're good. They'll manage.
Mm.
And so then they're
wait, before this, you missed the cut to the beach where the rapper guy's there with the blonde.
Oh yeah, they do cut to that, yeah. But he's just sitting, mid-sized sedan, sitting there.
He's not even sitting there. It's almost this girl. She's doing like a little striptease type thing. She gets butt naked. She dives in the water, and then mid-sized sedan, the rapper guy walks into the frame, and you're like, is he with her? Is he stalking her?
No, you see him before that. He was sitting there while she looked at him before she started getting undressed.
Mm.
And he's just, that's the thing though. He's just sitting in the background.
I thought he
much
came
like
through
later when they see him again and he's just sitting, not talking to anyone. Yeah. And I was like, that's weird character trait.
It doesn't make sense for the situation that he had just experienced, in my opinion.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, and then we go around the breakfast rounds where we meet this other guy. I'll be honest, I could not tell what the coupling was when we met the doctor guy's family. I was like, is that his wife or is the old lady his wife?
Oh
Because he
no.
seemed. I was like, well, he's not that young. Are they saying that that's their daughter and that's the granddaughter?
Yeah, so
Or
you get the doctor and you get lactose girl. She's just,
calcium?
whatever.
She's not lactose intolerant. She needs more calcium.
So she needs more calcium and she has a calcium deficiency. And there's a little girl, she's probably like 8. And my favorite scene is where she's like, "Hey, don't slouch. You're going to, get a hump and carry that for the rest of your life." And the little girl backs up in her high chair, sits up straight, and looks dead ass in the camera for about 5 seconds. And I was like, "This is the best shot? This was the shot we used, everyone." And I looked right at her and she looked at me and I was like, "You've literally broken the magic." And then she looked off to the side. I was
Dude,
like,
there was a shot where M. Night looked at the camera. Okay.
we had to make sure the shot was lined up.
Yeah. I
He's like,
mean,
"No, dude, you're supposed to block that before we do this." But the
he's
little
like,
girl looked right at it. I was like, "Man, you better up your ante. Oh, you're gonna just face fuck a fistful of cold
that
pasta?
was even her. That was the next one.
Whatever, it counts. It was her."
No, no. But yeah, so then we meet that family, and the dynamic is kind of like, well, who knows, whatever. And then we meet our third couple as one of them has a seizure, and
She has an epileptic seizure.
yeah, and her husband is just like, "It's all right, everybody. I know what to do." And then the doctor's just like, "I'm a fucking doctor," and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm a nurse. I don't like
You want
it's
to
my
fight?
wife." Like, yeah, I was just like, "Oh, whip the dicks out, have a pissing contest, let's go."
Yeah.
And then the doctor's just like, "Yeah, you'll be fine. Just like put a pedal on her head." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck you. I know. I'm married to her. This is my first fucking seizure rodeo, dude."
Yeah. And then she shakes it off, makes a bunch of jokes. We all
They
have a
make
laugh.
so many bad jokes. Like, oh, she just always wants to be the center of attention. She's just like, ha, 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 ha. We can't have kids because of this. So
Yeah. You
it's like,
should adopt.
okay. Yeah. And then we're off to the beach. So our main family gets in the van. They're like, all right, let's roll. And then the second family gets in the van. They're just like, oh, not so fucking secret after all. And you're like, oh, weird. They drive. It's M. Night. As we stated before, he's driving them. He gets them to the site. He gives them a bunch of shit, just kicks them out on their way. And the doctor guy, he's just like, can't you help us? And he's just like, no, fuck you. You
I
didn't
gotta
tip.
get back.
Yeah, I gotta get back. No tip, no fucking helpy. And he gives them like 8 years worth of food. And they're like, there's a lot of food. He's like, fucking kids grow, man. It's just like, okay. So they carry these giant food troughs down. And then we get to this weird part where they're walking through these rocks. And M. Night's like, let me just slow everything down for like a little too long, but like without any movement to show that this is the line in which they cross. They can never go back. They can never go back. And then there's Mid-Sized Sedan. just sitting on the beach.
Just sitting on the beach.
The old white British guy is real racist. Surprise. He's like, let's move a little further. Move a little further away from the black guy there.
And I was like, move where?
Yeah, I was just like, you moved 10 feet the opposite in the same direction practically. Like, is a mid-sized sedan's legs broken? He's got a bum wheel. He can't get over there if he wanted to.
So basically,
what
on the
is he
beach,
doing?
yeah, nothing. They had nothing for him to do. So we're on the beach. We have the family, which is mom, dad, brother, sister. We have the trophy wife that has a calcium. We have her little kid, and we have the doctor dad, and we have the dad's older mother with her little puppy, or her little Scottish Terrier, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we have Mid-Sized Sedan, and we have yet to see the blonde. So we're all setting up. We're splashing around. It's beach day. We're running around. We're doing beach stuff. I'm getting tired watching them. And then
it's very boring.
It's very boring.
We found rusty silverware. Why is it here? Just fucking don't touch that. I was like, ooh, plot point.
It's a dirty beach.
Yeah.
So it basically means man has corrupted every pure ounce of Mother Earth.
Yep.
That's how I took it. And then I wept.
I just took it that people have died here before and will continue to die here later.
So we have this set up, and then we kind of get into the one-on-one of dad and mom. Dad and mom start going back and forth. Are you happy? You're doing this. We have to make these decisions. I'm sick. I'm dying. And I'm just going to kind of do their overarching story because it's very minuscule. I don't think it really helps the movie, moves anything forward. It doesn't.
No, yeah. None of the character relationships move anything forward at all.
Yeah. There's nothing to be done except for standing around and saying your lines, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And you basically find out she does have this cancer. It's kind of put a massive stress on the relationship. They can't move forward.
Well, it's a benign tumor is what it is.
Right. So while she was going through that, she met someone else. The husband kind of found out, but he wasn't upset. He whatever to make her happy. And she has guilt about it. Later on, the daughter finds out, and she kind of feels a certain way about her mom. But daughter don't get it because she hasn't lived a life because she's a dumb kid and reasons. So that's kind of really the only big story with the family. There's nothing with the son and his weird questioning. There's no relationship with the dad. It's just that's kind of the biggest piece with them. And then you have the trophy wife, calcium deposit. She's basically just there to kind of just yell things. She just yells when things are changing in the story visually. And the mom, the grandmother, she doesn't really do much either, but she's the...
she dies. She fucks off real quick, actually.
Yeah, she fucks off real quick, and that's really about it. And the daughter is used as a barometer for what's happening on the beach. And the main doctor, other than his... I guess he has schizophrenia or dementia that progresses and causes him to act the way he acts, where you're like, are you an asshole? And then he starts really leaning into it. He's the only one that I would say acts or does something different or kind of has a hidden thing that just slowly comes out.
Yeah.
That's about it.
He has a mental illness.
So. Exactly. So that's how they chalk it up. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. Just that's the kind of the long and the short of it. There's a couple other things that change, but character-wise.
Yeah.
Well, I guess might as well get to it.
Trent...
this is after they find the swimmer from earlier.
Yeah, well, so Trent finds the woman. He freaks out. They pull the kids away. They do this weird, color emotion counting shit that I've heard before that seems dumb and not healthy, in my opinion, but whatever. And so they look at the woman's body, and they're just like, holy shit. And then Mid-Sized Dan comes over, and basically the racist old white British doctor is just like, black man did it. There you go. Mystery solved.
Yeah.
And he's just like, we have a responsibility to this woman now, and blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, hey, man, I ain't saying shit. Get me a lawyer. And I'm like, you're on a beach. I don't know. One of them a lawyer? I don't know. Around this time, the grandma starts having some chest problems. They're kind of dividing off. So we have the group that's dealing with the body, and then we have the people keeping the kids distracted.
Yeah, the doctor's attention's being pulled in different directions, and he's kind of really the catalyst for most things to happen that would disrupt the groups, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's all he is. He's just like, I move the plot forward at times.
Yeah.
With a knife.
Other than the island that's kind of creating, or the beach, I should say, that's creating a sense of urgency unbeknownst to the characters.
Yeah. And so, one of my favorite lines is in the trophy wife. The grandma, or the mom's like, the older mom is like, my chest hurts. And she's just like, well, Agnes, that's why I wanted a yacht. You should have bought me on that. And I was just like, what the?
Damn.
She's having a heart attack.
It's like, fuck you, Agnes.
It was true. She was just like, well, Agnes, fuck you. You should have bought me on the yacht. I was just like, oh my God. Okay.
It's weird.
You're going to feel real bad when she dies in a second. But
in the comic, the characters are a little bit rearranged. We're just kind of like who has what. I think it's her mother in it and not the doctor's mother. It's trophy wife's mother. There's little configurations of characters that are altered. And in the comic, they just go to the beach. There is no resort. There is no hotel boy. They just know where the beach is and kind of just go there.
Mm-hmm.
And the beach just starts happening. And the other characters show up, but they're just represented a little bit differently. I will say, like, I didn't read, I just briefly went through the comic. I think I read like half of it and then kind of skimmed the rest. From what I could tell, and you can see the big, beats of the story, the movie does tighten it up a lot better. It does pace it better. It does hit other things. It hits better points, I think, but it's more opinion, but neither good nor bad kind of things. But I just think it's a little bit tighter in the movie.
Gotcha. And so they're dealing with this body. This is when the other couple shows up and is just like, "Hey, we were late," and they were like, "Hey, like, is the driver here? Like, what? Fucking, we got a dead body. We got to go back." And I think who's the first person that runs to the thing and gets shot back? Is it the doctor or
it's the nurse guy?
Oh, the nurse guy. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all under the pretense. The driver said, "I'm going to come back for you at 5 or call me earlier if you guys want to dip." And they're like, "Okay." Of course, their phones don't work. So the nurse dude's like, "Hey, let me turn around. I bet I can go catch him." He goes 10 feet into like the cove or the cave structure that's parallel with the beach, blacks out, comes back. And they're like, "Bro, like, what happened? You passed out." And I was like, "Well, if he passed out in the cave, how did you guys go get him without passing out yourselves?"
No, they said right there that you walked backward, clutching your head, and then you just like passed out when you got here.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. So that's good. And he's just like, I don't know what happens. He basically equates it to the bends are coming up too fast from diving. Like your head.
Yeah, eventually that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, your head just all this pressure and it causes you to black out.
And that pissed me off, Kevin, because he's like, you would have to like walk super slow and just get used to it, and it would cost you 20 years of your life. And then no one tried that. They just died on the fucking beach. I was like, I would have fucking tried that. That seems like, yeah, if I'm trying to save my fucking family, like these assholes claim to be,
so
I'll
know what I
sacrifice
would have
20
done?
years of my fucking life for them. Like, what the fuck?
And that was the thing. Like, what I was really waiting for is basically when that happens, mid-sized sedan, he has these constant nosebleeds, and they're just basically, yeah. So they're trying to figure it out, and the racist doctor, he just ends up, he's just fed up with him because his schizophrenia is just working overtime. He slashes mid-sized sedan in the face, and it just basically, heals up instantly because his blood's working overtime. I don't know if that was supposed to.
Well, it just shows that time passed very quickly.
Yeah, it was supposed to show, but I guess which was here because did he have hemophilia? Because that's why his nose kept bleeding. I thought he maybe had like a brain tumor or something. You know what I mean? Like, why was mid-sized sedan's nose constantly bleeding? Couldn't the doctor been like,
that
"Oh,
was well, he's a bad doctor. He's a racist doctor, Kevin. He didn't take the time to diagnose the patient." What, like, the thing about the doctor is everyone kept being like, "Hey, doctor, look at this, look at that,"
That's what I think. Like, his schizophrenia just he lost all focus, which I didn't really mind that because he started talking about movies and shit. Oh, mid-sized sedan mentions it when he walks with the daughter when she levels up, when she goes to level 2.
But you're jumping all over the fucking place right now.
No, yeah. Well, the part.
Well, okay, but so like we got our other couple, and they haven't figured out the catch yet. They haven't figured out the gimmick. He slashes that mid-sized sedan, and it heals up, and they're just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then the mom starts having pain, and they're like, "Holy shit, your tumor!" Or she's like, and that's when the dad's like, "She has a tumor." We were told it's benign, but they're just like, "That's like the size of like a baseball." And then the doctor checks, and he's like, "That's the size of a fucking softball now." And so they cut her open because the dad's like, "I don't know, this is a tough decision." I was like, "What is it? Like, did you guys have some pre-conversation about not removing the tumor or something?" Because that's what it felt like to me. Of like, she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna ride or die," and so he's just like, "Oh, I might be going against her wishes here." But he's just
Surprising
like,
enough.
all right, fuck it, cut it out. So the doctor cuts it. She heals instantly, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have to put our fucking fingers in there. And instead of showing anything cool, they just show you the doctor losing his fucking mind. He's just like, Marlon Brando. And I forget who else he said was they were in a movie together. Who? What
He
was that?
says like
What was that
Robert
movie?
Redford or like Al Pacino or Dustin Hoffman. He says somebody.
Yeah, I don't remember who he says. And then so he keeps doing that like kind of thing, and it's obviously like a mental tick for him that he's using that as like a focus point. And I did think this part was cool. They eventually just hold it back. He fucking cuts the tumor off, and the thing's like the size of a fucking watermelon by the time they get it out of there because it's just growing so fast. And then this is where they kind of figure out and they start to do the math of like, okay, we're aging 7 years per like 3 minutes or some shit or 3 hours on this fucking beach or whatever. That's when they like find out that the kids have fucking aged. And they're just like, who the fuck are these preteens? And I don't know. The kids' voices were really weird at that point. It was almost like they were using the first actors to ADR over them.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
that vibe? And I was just like,
I know I did because they weren't in. There's a good portion when the kids switch. They're not clearly in the shot. Like it's going to be a big
Yeah.
reveal that's what's happening. But I did not like that because I was like, dude,
Yeah.
we all know. Like the
It's
audience,
like the
your audience
reveal
isn't stupid.
Your audience isn't stupid. And you already revealed this in the trailer. Like, and I know
Well,
that doesn't count.
Yeah, the
But
trailer doesn't count. That's like done by a different thing, right?
yeah.
But if you're pacing out your story for a reveal, your audience isn't dumb. They know what's going on. You have to trust that they believe what you're telling them. So
just reveal it quicker. Like his reveals were super slow. Like they have like a 5-minute conversation. I feel like.
well, they did. That's what the reveal should have been a little more special. You know, maybe pan up his legs or his feet, or maybe have him like nervously kind of like embarrassed, you know, that he feels awkward and he doesn't, you know what I mean? Like do a pan up or just kind of show them back to back, or he's hiding behind a rock or a tree. Like, hey, come out. It's okay. You know, I don't want you to see me. I don't feel weird, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But they just kind of like pan over to them. And in the comic, like the mom notices it sooner because the dad's like, dude, why'd you buy his trunk so small? And she's like, what are you talking about? They're his size. Come over here and look. And he's like, dude, his swimming trunks are fit, like crushing his nuts. Like, what are you? And they start kind of
they
like
try to do that in the movie too. She's just like, "What?" He's like, "My pants feel tight." She's like, "What the fuck?" And I was just like, "They look fine. This isn't
no, like
working."
in the comic, like you can start seeing the kid's butt crack, and the dad's leaning into the mom, like, dude, what the fuck? Like, and she's like, I don't know. They look at
My
the
son
size.
showing ass on the beach. What the fuck is this? Is this France? What is this?
The boy's got his little coin slot showing, and you're just like, uh-oh, we better fix that. And it's just kind of weird. And the kid's like naked. He's like, oh, I need clothes.
Yeah,
And
they were way too quick with the clothes in this.
Like-
I was like, man, you are hulking these pants just conveniently anywhere you look. So
I got a spare trunks, and they put them like in a towel and stuff. But I think the reveal to the kids should have had a little bit more punch to it, and I would have put it not shocking, but I would have had it more pitiful. I would have tried to evoke that emotion because it's sad. They should be kind of scared and just it should kind of be like disturbing a little bit, you know. And
everyone was like really chill with it, like the kids.
But yet they were
were
all
freaking
super
out.
confused about it at the exact same time. Like the parents were just like, "That's not my daughter." What do you mean, Mom? It's me. Why won't you look at me? And I was like,
and then 30 seconds later, they're just like holding hands, skipping. I was like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
and I was like, there's no other kids here. That's your kid. Like, there's something happening. And like, I don't believe with the time moving forward at a rapid rate, we can just slice you and your skin's gonna pull tightly back together like that. I was like, I don't think it would work like that. Because
well, what's weird to me,
there had to be assistance. You're not Wolverine. Like you're like
okay, let's put a pin in that, Kevin, because I want to get to that, but I want to cover some more ground before we
sure
get to that. Because there's one thing I want to add to that, but I want to like build up till we talk about that, you know, because yeah, everyone's reaction to the kids. The kids aren't awkward in their fucking bodies that just grew over 30 minutes or whatever. Like they're all just running around being just fine,
Yeah,
athletic
I
as
would make them
fuck.
like baby giraffes and shit falling
They
over.
would be though. They would be if they just like got that big, that awkward. Like kids are like that in general, and then you just sped up the process. Those fuckers wouldn't be able to walk straight. They'd be like, "Ah, fucking followed
Shouldn't
over."
they be in pain? Wouldn't it be
Yes, they would
painful?
be actually to grow that fast. Like they would be in a lot of pain. So no amount of like macaroni pasta is gonna fucking make that pain go away unless they
I
put
don't know.
Advil laced
It,
inside those
it
bags or
might
some
have. I
shit.
mean, it looked pretty good. It looked moist.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, ew, goddamn, why is she just fisting that into her mouth?
It's
So
fuck silverware, man. When you're on the beach, beach
I was like,
rules.
go get that fucking rusty silverware. It's better than what you're doing. God damn. But so yeah, everyone's just like really, I don't know, just like really on board with like, okay, all right, we got a problem. They try to like talk about it. They're like, okay, based on how the kids are aging, like they're doing all this fucking fun fucking nerd math, I want to call it. I was just like, what the fuck? And here's my main problem is like, okay, the kids this age, we're still not watching them. We're still not keeping an eye on them at all. And then they fucking age again.
They're
Two of
aging the
them,
equivalent of 30 minutes every 5 seconds, but in
yeah.
7 years, they're just nuts are going to
But no
drop.
one thinks to like take a look at it when they hit the teens and be like, well, maybe we should watch it when they hit the teens.
I'd be like,
That's a
listen, this
problem
kid's
time
like
anyway.
11. He's going to be masturbating like a fucking jackrabbit in 2 seconds. I know where he's going to be. He's going to be pounding it behind the rock. Her,
He didn't
I don't
have to,
know.
Kevin. He had a partner, so he went to Pound Town, and so the next time we see them, they've aged again, and she's fisting fucking macaroni pasta into her mouth, and then boom, he's just like, "Hey, Dad," and they're just like, "Oh shit, she's pregnant." And I like this part. I was like, "Oh fuck, that's kind of cool. What are you gonna
Well,
do with this?"
so this is the part where, like, I'm not trying to flex on this, but I was calling everything before they did it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, because it teetered on something like I said, I like the idea of being in one location with this kind of ticking time bomb.
yeah,
And what I would have done is a lot of similar things. And it is like, what are you going to do with this? So she's, of course, pregnant now. She's going to cycle through this baby in, like, I don't know, 5 seconds.
yeah.
And now we got the baby situation. While we have the baby situation, we have another situation happening down the beach. And it's, to me, the story. I mean, well, I guess we just talk about the baby part.
Well, yeah, that's the part I wanted to focus on real quick.
It's just a bunch of distracting things, a bunch of
No, and
distractions.
that's the thing is like they kind of figure out and they kind of know they're fucked and they know how they're fucked and they know how they're aging. But then like we just have a bunch of really dumb distractions. And like, yeah, the schizophrenic doctor is kind of fucking up everything, and that's kind of intentional to keep them not thinking, keep them not cohesive. The kids aging is keeping them distracted by that too. Like you kind of get why that's thrown in there, because if it was just like, okay, we're four rational adults, let's figure this shit
Well,
out.
not only are you rational adults, you're educated adults.
Yeah.
Every one of them are like degrees and they're psychiatrists. They're one chick's Indiana Jones, she's an archaeologist. The other dude is
Yeah.
just a good dad. So if
Well,
it
and
was
he's an
me,
insurance adjuster, so he knows how much the a life fucking costs and shit. So it's just like, okay, so, but that's a lot of math. So we got a math, an archaeologist, a nurse, a psychologist, a doctor, a trophy wife,
so you have these
and a
highly
rapper.
educated adults here and they have a situation, right? They've come to the realization of their fantastic situation that they're in. And they just, so if it's me, okay, doctor, he's already lashed out. Anybody that's just gonna slice a dude in the fucking face, I'm gonna go to the nurse and I'm gonna go to the other whoever else is there, maybe even the rapper. I'm gonna be like, hey, we need to take that weapon away from that dude.
Yeah.
And
Well, and then
maybe possibly fuck him up to where he cannot do anything or restrain him somehow with something from the tent or a clothing, something, right? Because he is not of his sound mind is just to start fucking this all up. I don't need a dude running around with a goddamn pocket knife when I'm trying to figure out we got every second not to waste on the old island, you know?
yeah.
Old,
Well, and this is the part where the teen daughter talks to mid-sized sedan, gets his kind of backstory of how he ended up in the beach, which you're like, why was he not forthcoming with this information? What did he hope to gain by not giving this information to them when he meets them and sees some weird shit going down?
Well, I
Like,
wouldn't really either, because who fucked these people? Like, I don't think he should
yeah, but
have.
he's fucked too. Like, it
But
just
that's
seems
the thing.
dumb.
He needed more. He did not react enough to his fuck situation. He just kind of,
He
if
sat on
he's,
the beach and stared for a long time.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's in shock, if that girl was the girl, the swimmer that he wanted to hook up with, and it didn't work out, but all he does is just reveal a nugget of information that everybody has some sort of medical ailment, right?
Yeah,
They're there for girl's got cancer. He's got some hemophilia thing where he can't stop bleeding. Other dude's fucking schizophrenic. Other girl gets seizures. But we have the nurse and the kids and the dad. They're kind of scot free. They have no
yeah,
ailments that we know of. And I guess the swimmer, she has something too. That's how they met on some like,
yeah. They're both sick. That's what he said. Yeah,
yeah. But that's the only reason he's there, dude, is to give you
yeah.
that one nugget of information.
No,
And
yeah, no, I agree. Because then shortly after that, the doctor kills him, stabs the shit out of him until he dies, which takes a lot of stabbing
it should have
because
been way
shit
like,
heals.
and yeah, that's the thing. I was like, well, how you showed me the cut on his face. I didn't get a timeline for that because he covers it. But if you put an incision into that girl's stomach and it healed in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. And then now I'm going to go back to the baby. So the baby is born. Okay. And I thought, I did like the father and son at this point. He's like, hey, what you did is how babies are made. Like he's explaining this to a 6-year-old boy and like a 17-year-old boy's body. He's just like, you fucking made a baby. Okay. And he's just like, I just thought we were like goofing around. I thought you had to do that like 10 times. Like real kid logic of like, I thought you had to do that like 10 times for it to happen. He's like, no, I can do.
No, son,
Got it in one, son.
You
You
made
got
a
it in one.
baby. I'm gonna need you to go get some smokes and possibly never come back.
And he was just like, I'm gonna marry her. We're gonna be together forever. I was like, you're on a beach aging you to death, dude. Like, fucking calm down.
He can't worry about that. He's a dad with no job right now. He just made a boo-boo baby.
Just another deadbeat dad with no fucking job. Just real beach bum for life. Me and my beach bum baby, we're gonna beach bum it up. If I don't just like hit the waves and catch some crispy waves and never come back.
Yeah, he should have been like, that's your problem now, babe. I'm over here on this part of the beach. I'm
And
not
here's
coming
what
around for Christmas.
here's the part where I was like, okay, what? They kill the baby instantly. And someone says the baby died because of a lack of attention. Because they put it down for a second. And that's a real thing. Babies can die from a lack of attention. Over the course of several days, like even weeks, they can survive like that.
Isn't
So
that
you're
true to
telling me?
is that true to anything that can't fend for
Yeah,
itself?
pretty much. But like, it is like a real thing they tell you about with infants. Like they're like, hey,
Hey,
yeah.
this thing's alive. You might want to check in on it. Thank you. I've
And I'm
never
just
dealt
like,
with something that's been alive before.
but I was just like, wait, you're telling me the baby fucking died when they put it down in a blanket and turned around to get like something else? I was like, what the fuck?
So I'm gonna tell you that right now,
I
Dustin.
was
That
like,
was
why
just
did?
to write the baby out because of the
Yeah,
comment the
and
baby
that's the part
lives.
I didn't fucking like. I was like, why did you write the baby out? This is way more interesting when you added a baby to the fucking mix, and now these two families are forced to like be a big family, and you got schizo dad over there. I was like, oh, I was like, what the fuck? And then the girls is holding. We never even see the baby. That was really stupid too. He's like, I ain't doing no baby shots. Nah, we ain't got the budget for that. We only got 18 mil. Can't waste on no CG fucking baby. Hold this fucking blanket. We'll just put some dust in it later on. I was like, what the?
So it's called sand. We're surrounded by it.
It was ash, dude. It was.
Well, the baby just didn't disintegrate.
No, it did, dude. When he goes to rest it or like lay it down,
That's
like
stupid.
yeah, ash like bone dust came out, dude. That's what I
Then
said.
why would the other girl have bone dust?
Exactly. That's what
Like
I'm
a fucking
saying. The
lame.
fucking aging wasn't even consistent in this fucking beach. Like, okay, he stabs mid-sized sedan like 50 times and kills him. Okay, and then later they take the knife from him. All right, and
You
you're
know what he
like,
should have done? If you're going to kill midsize sedan, he should have stabbed him in the leg, and he falls over, and he cuts his throat, and he holds his throat open. That would have been sick because
that would have been super sick.
I've been like, that's a brutal death, and you played by the rules of the island because you knew he would heal instantly. There you go.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. He just stabs him a whole bunch. And then what makes even less sense, Kevin, is when they're older and feeling the effects of it more, and he goes into his stabbing frenzy again, they live just fine.
No, I know.
Like
Like
they just
they get
heal and
lit
live,
up.
and I was just like, what? But
They do the body shield and everything.
yeah, I was like, but mid-sized sedan was just like, I can't take fit. Like, I guess that was the hemophilia that.
That's the only thing I could chalk it up to was
Yeah,
his disease. So
but it was just like, what the fuck? And so yeah, so the doctor, the baby's dead, the mid-sized sedan's dead. Um, the doctor is just cowering in a corner. His wife comes over and he tells her to put on some fucking makeup, and so she bones out because she's aging poorly and
literally,
needs that calcium. And so they're like, oh, and I
yeah,
think at some
why didn't
point
she just bring a bunch of insurers with her? You know what I mean? Like they're fun, they're chocolatey. You
they
can
want
just
to see if
crack
they
one
had cured
open.
her, Kevin. You know, I mean,
Should have brought a camel pack loaded up with Ensure. She's good.
she's like, I could survive 3 years here.
She's like, write me out of this, bitch. I'm good.
But, oh, at some point they all broke off into twos and tried to find a different way out, and then they bounce all back with like headaches. And I was like, did you all find the same stupid paths or some shit? Like, whatever.
You know what? It would have been kind of cool. This is what I would have done, and just to make it
Introduce the
interesting.
coral way sooner. Sorry.
I would have had. Well, so they introduced the camera on the hill, but then the characters finally notice it. Like I don't know, 2 hours into this movie.
Well, the 6-year-old kid notices it first, and then the adults notice it like way later. But then the kid never notices it again. He's just like, whatever.
So yeah, what I would have liked to see, and I really thought they were going to do it, is I thought the core family was going to just bring the family together, like family meeting, right?
Yeah.
And if the baby would have lived, I'll tell you later what the baby does in the comic. But I would have went to the dad should have went to the son. And he should have been like, listen, you're gonna have to navigate these caves, but you're gonna have to do it slowly. Like you're the only one that can get us out of here. Like, and I would have changed it where the dad starts losing his vision earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you got to do it for your sister. And because the mom starts losing her hearing. And I would have just done something like that so we can have something at stake. So we can have a modicum of hope that he can make it out. He's like, you're going to get older. This is what's going to happen. I don't want you to be scared. It's going to hurt. You're going to feel, just go slow, and, maybe he can use his little, I play with crayons code thing he liked to do in the beginning with the hotel boy. And I thought I would have worked something like that out just to have that hope. But they kind of bet on this little coral reef thing that's in the ocean that
that we don't even see until they introduce it.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck? That's been there the whole time. They're like,
it's literally off camera because, like you said, when everyone has their powwow, they're trying to figure out. And they're like, hey, well, you can't go too fast because you black out. You can't go around in the ocean. You can't swim outside the barrier that's basically these cliffs have created because you're going to pass out and drown in the water. Everyone's like, well, I'm a good swimmer. I was like, hey, this other chick, I heard she was a good swimmer. This fucking mid-sized sedan nurse. Yeah, he was like, mid-sized sedan was like, this bitch swings like Michael Phelps. And I was like, okay. And the night nurse was like, yeah, man, I splashed at the pool.
In college. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't need a floaty anymore.
Don't worry, I'll make it, guys. I was like, they are not putting any eggs in your basket, sir. No, they do not give a flying fuck. And then he's just like, I'm back, but dead. And I was just like, of course you are.
Yeah.
And his wife's just like, he's fucking dead. He's fucking dead. I gotta turn to take some floaties and go out there on my own. And then she seizures out on the fucking beach. And they were just like, well.
And then she dies. And I'm like, where's the horror movie aspect? It is you have your characters trapped and they have to kind of do illogical things to get out of it. They have to kind of risk it for the biscuit, as they say. But not at one time do I see educated guesses happening or some sort of like formula. Like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And the kids are like, oh, maybe we could get off if we had some sort of containment from almost like, an X-ray machine when you see the radiation goes out, but we always wear the iron like smocks and stuff to block us from it. Maybe it's kind of something like that because random thought. I was like,
Yeah.
random shower
Well,
thought.
and I thought like, okay, well, they must be bringing that up because of the shit ton of silverware they found over there.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll make some sort of vest from the shit ton of silverware they found over there. No? Okay. 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 No? Okay. And then go back to what you said, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you send the sun out, that's interesting. That would be an interesting thing. But I'm just like, if it's me, I'm the father. I want my wife and kids to live. I'm gonna make that sacrifice. Yeah, I might be fucking 90 when I get out of that shit, but I'm gonna go get them fucking help. You know, to
yeah.
to like help to get out of there.
Because
And
I think that's the easy call, right? You have the dad do it,
yeah,
right? That's why I think you have to have the weakness of the parents where they're it's a good barometer to
yeah,
change. The
they're like, I'm
son's
not gonna
getting
make it.
I'm not
Like
going to make it. The son's getting older. He's going to step into that hero lead
yeah,
role in a way. And then the
like our
parents are
family
getting more
unit's
feeble.
fucked either
Right.
ways.
So me and sister, we're going to devise a plan from all the little games we play. You know what I mean? This will
Yeah.
work. You'll go so far or something, or I
Well,
can keep
and
track
the
of
thing
you.
is, the kids never actually tried to leave that way. They're the only
No,
ones that didn't try to leave that way. So it's
yeah.
kind of like, well, maybe they could have. Maybe it didn't affect them as much. Maybe because they're aging through it, almost growing up in it, they might get some
Exactly. So
environmental effects. But like,
you're
no, we're not
exposed
gonna
to
do
it
that.
longer than any of us have. You've been affected by it. Maybe you have a little bit more immunity to it. Maybe it takes it
Yeah,
longer for you to pass out. Maybe you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I
So
would have been more intrigued if they experimented with that instead of standing around just yelling at each other and then just dying off. But it was literally the doctor, the schizo doctor. He was the only one that was creating. He was the only source of tension,
yeah,
and that's what I think really overall hurts the experience. Because I would have liked to see more problem solving. That kind of, you know, you'll be a woman soon. You're going to be a man soon. It's going to time for you guys to own it.
yeah. They don't even like give them any worldly advice, and they act almost like their age almost instantly, and they just have
Mhm.
like almost childlike dialogue.
Yeah,
But
I
I
would
didn't
have.
really believe the
I
dialogue.
I didn't
You
believe
know?
the dialogues. I believe none of the dialogue. I did kind of like that they still had almost an adolescent frame
Yeah,
or mindset. But I really, really was waiting and wanted that scene of the son going, "I'm going to do it," and then the daughter being like, "I'm going to stay here." And he's going to be like, "I want you to stay here with them. I want them to feel loved until they go." You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, but
clicked.
that's too big of emotions for them. They don't
But
they don't
I
have that
think
emotional development. So
No, I know, but like it's still your mom and your dad, and I that could have been the small, no pun intended, growth that they have. They know love, they understand
yeah,
love, and I think if the son was ready to do that, I'd been like, I have to do this because I don't think there's going to be. This is all I know what to do. I don't know what to do, but my dad said I got to do it for him. I love my dad, and I
yeah,
want you to stay here with him, so they're with I mean, he's saying that to the audience and he can say it in a kid way, but that's what he needs to convey in a childlike way. And then I would have been like, "Oh, that's heavy. I'm invested now. I really want him to get out." And he doesn't make it. And then I would have had the daughter been like, "You know what? I'm hitting the coral. I only need one. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I only need one to do this." But
Instead, his Trent's baby mama is like, I'm gonna climb over the cliff.
she was going for it.
She was making good speed for a while. I was like,
She was
especially for
fucking it up, bro.
like someone
No
who's
safety gear,
no
just
shoes,
just
awkward in her fucking teen body.
tons of
Just
carbs, just ready to fucking
yeah.
push
I
it.
mean, if she had a Mr. Footing and I don't know, insurance dad hadn't like just pulled the son out of the way, maybe they could have caught her.
I was like, dude, I was like, could someone like help break her fall?
Yeah, I
That's
was like, did she land on where'd those other rocks come from all of a sudden? She was literally climbing above a flat surface.
I didn't get that
Like I
part.
expected her to just hit the sand. Instead, they were like, "Nah, she hit these
What I would
rocks
have done,
here."
I'd been like, bro, hey, young son, let's go get this tent and hold the tent underneath her. At least the cloth would like break her. We're not going to straight stop her from hitting the ground, but maybe we'll, block a concussion or a limb getting
Snap her
broken.
neck and have to live paralyzed for the rest of her life on this beach. But
In
like
10 minutes.
even that would have been interesting. I'm like, oh shit, she's paralyzed. Like,
Dude, if it would have crippled her,
like this, like
it would have been. There's so many interesting things you could have did with the whole time thing.
Yeah, said they were just like throw her at some rocks that weren't there 5 minutes ago.
But then you don't get to see her hit or any of that. At least show me.
Yeah, that was weird. Like he didn't want to show
gore.
anything graphic. He didn't want to show a childbirth. He didn't want to show a baby. He didn't want to show fucking like even the stabs are like fucking blurry. Even before the guy's losing his vision, they were blurry before that. When he was stabbing mid-sized sedan, we're like out of focus and away, and it was like
very shaky cam and like it's very like home movies.
So then now it's nighttime. Only our main family is really cohesive. The schizo guy, they took the knife from him and then showed him where they hid it. Fucking brilliant move. And then we don't even know where the trophy wife is because she's going through it. All right,
she's hiding in the cove because she doesn't want to be looked upon.
Yeah. So
but I don't think she even knew the daughter died at that point.
No, she did. Yeah. No, you're right. No, she didn't because she asked them when they show up in a minute.
Yeah.
So the kids are once again just playing free and fancy. The dad starts to lose his vision. The wife starts to lose her hearing. And it's like weird because we're having this like family moment. And I could have stayed there before they had those like age losses, I'm going to call them, happen. Because I felt like we were kind of becoming acquainted to this family and it was becoming like a believable unit again.
It did. That was the first time where you're like, that's a family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's a family. But then they were instantly like, take their hearing, take their eyes. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I believe that they were kind of like figuring this out for a minute and that this particular group of actors was making it believable. Then they were just like, take his eyes, take her hearing, call it good. And then, fucking schizo doctor shows up and he's just like, you're gonna fucking steal my shit. I was like, dude, you're fucking on a beach. Where the fuck? What did they steal from you crazy dipshit? Like,
he's like, you ever see Apocalypse Now? It's fucking sick.
Yeah. Marlon Brando and Tiger Woods were in a movie. I was just like, okay, guy, like,
hypoglycemia. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
That's the calcium deficiency.
Oh, well, it sucks. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare.
So he starts stabbing the parents. The parents tell the kids, and I get this is the part where I was like, okay, that was very kid-like. They're not just jumping in and being like, okay, we can overpower this motherfucker. They didn't become superheroes. They're still a 6 and 8-year-old just in big-ass bodies. Okay? They run away. They run away to the cave that we see them playing in that seems to have no effect on anyone. That's great to be like, ooh, we're older. That's when they find the trophy wife. The trophy wife is just like, she's dead, isn't she? Fucking don't look at me. And she's got like this hunchback thing going on. She's super fucked up. She starts throwing arms and shit, and bones start breaking and healing and breaking and healing. And they just keep lighting matches, looking at her, pissing her off. They're just like, oh, what's she doing now? Oh, what's she doing now? And she's just like, fucking stop doing that.
Yeah, that was the most visually like entertaining part, I think.
Yeah, I thought
it was a bit ridiculous, but it was entertaining.
It was very ridiculous because, like, how did she die in the end? She was just like, real tapped out. Like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I assume just the constant breaking and healing fucked her up because the kids had found some survival matches in the silverware, and then they left one of the rusty knives with the mom or something.
No, the mom ran over. So after she plays human shield for a little bit. Then she runs over, and the dad just, fends for himself as best as he can.
Like getting sliced up.
Yeah, because he can't see, and he's just like, I can't see him. Can you just tell me where he's at so I can find him? And then she's just like, fucking rusty knife, motherfucker. Boop. And that was probably the coolest part too, was just watching these two fuckers die, because then he gets,
You mean poison. The evil doctor gets.
Yeah. And he just turns into a giant burnt looking boil. You're just like, that's fucked up, but cool.
Yeah, because they were like that movie Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Richard Pryor and Gene, Wilder.
Uh-huh.
That was the mom and the dad. I thought they were gonna like
Oh,
stand back to back and
yeah, no.
hustle
No.
them.
No. And so
I
then
don't like. Whoa, what a callback.
the
Meanwhile,
kids they're just like, "Hey, mom, dad, let's just watch the sunset." And then
that beach would
the
be
dad's just like, he's just like, "What were we fighting about?" And she's just like, shaking her head. He's just like, "Well, why did we even want to leave this beach? It's beautiful." I was just like, "Well, it's all right. You've lost your mind." He dies. She walks away. She's like, "I can't look at my husband's dead body." Then she dies, and the kids are just like, "Fuck the dead shit." They age one more time. They decide to build a sandcastle, and then he decodes the message from the hotel boy about he's like, "My uncle doesn't like the coral," and that's it. And so then we introduce this coral shit, and they're like, "All right, we gotta swim out to that coral. That's our only chance of getting out of here." So they swim, and she's got this flowing fucking sweater thing, and somehow this flowing fucking sweater thing gets so wrapped and tangled around the coral that you're like, "Well, they're
that
gonna
coral,
die."
Dustin would have shredded it in a
Yeah,
second.
in a fucking millisecond. Instead, like half the fucking ocean had to crack for these assholes to get free of it. I was like, pull your arm out of it, you ass. This fabric would have aged like 70 fucking years. How are you're gonna tell me that
Well,
that
that was
has
the
no
thing,
effect?
right?
I was like, what the fuck?
The rules to the beach were a little wonky because I was like,
All the time.
why isn't their hair growing? Why isn't there beards on everyone? The nails
Because they
and
said
this.
that no, they
Yeah,
covered
someone
that.
throws a $2 line out there going,
Technically, that's dead cells. And it's like, all right, thanks, asshole.
well, it's dead cells, but wouldn't your body be processing through them at a high
Yeah,
rate? Shouldn't their teeth be
same
falling out? You know what I
same
mean?
thing.
There should be almost a decomposing aspect to everything
Yeah.
while they were alive. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
very, very inconsistent with the rules, but and so then we cut back to M Night, and he's the
And
guy
he's sitting at
walking.
this like observation tower. It's got all the setup. You see the just
Got like
high.
19 cameras. I was like,
Yeah,
this
this
must be every
mega
camera he
lids
used to
on
film
there.
this shit.
And he's on the phone and he's like, "Hey, yeah, they're good. They tried to swim through the reef and they didn't make it out. Yeah, I stood there for 2 seconds and watched them. Yeah, here, let me run this by you. So it's Marky Mark, right? And people are dying, but it's the trees that are making the people die because the trees are angry and the plant Mother Earth's upset. I'll write it down. You know what? We'll talk about it when I get back to
So
Mother Base 1.
these fucking aliens, all right, they invaded our fucking planet, all right.
Right? Okay.
90, I don't know, what are we, 70, 80% water?
Yeah, probably.
That's their
Yeah.
kryptonite.
But why did they come here?
For the stuff that wasn't water.
Oh, but we're pretty much all water. Even the human body is like
Yeah.
water.
Huh. Fucking dumbass aliens.
Dumb aliens, bro. Dumb aliens. Right. You should make that a movie though. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, so he heads back. They never show him again because.
How about a village in the middle of nowhere and they don't know what air it is? But Google Maps is like, I don't know.
Airplane flies over at the end.
But I thought they had a non-restricted air zone they were underneath. That's why they never saw.
Well, it was Harrison Ford, and he's going to crash land there because he's
that was a good movie too.
He's afraid of magic.
Shama, you got it, man. I don't know what your problem is. You need to put these on the screen.
I put asses in seats. That's what I do. M Night Out. So then we go back, and it's all just big pharma. The hotel using the beach as a guinea pig island. They give them cures that they're working up for their conditions. They basically pay for them to come there and die.
Yeah, because how'd you find out about this place? I went to the Rite Aid and on that big long receipt it said click here for sick prices. And you got
you remember Sears? I want a Sears sweepstake. I thought it was weird too, but I was like, I remember Sears. That's a place, right?
It's a good price.
That was free either way.
Why don't you just go to people?
Like, I love how they were on the fucking island dying, and they're like, was this a free trip that we won? I think we should never take a free trip again. I think
Well, you
that's what
also
we're
have to
learning.
remember when the little weird Trent kid was going around asking people their jobs.
Yeah.
One girl was like, "I'm a dancer," and one was like, "I'm an actor," and I was like, "I'm a philanthropist," and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm a cop.
Yeah, and they were
Everything's
like,
my beat.
ooh. Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
I'm on. There's a cop. It's called Interpol. We fuck with everybody." I'm like, "Really? Is that how that works?" Yeah. What's up? You got beef? Make it Chuck. I was like,
Yeah, I
"Okay."
was like, who did he call? Where was he on a vacation from? What the fuck? So, yeah, so they do a moment of silence for the dead people, and then they're just like, good news though. We cured the seizure.
We got the Johnson
Technically,
account. Johnson is
yeah, we got the
Johnson.
Johnson account, Johnson. Technically, she didn't have a seizure for 66 years. And I was like, okay, that's the one. That's the victory we pulled from this. All right,
Sir,
whatever.
sir. What about the kids that died and a bunch of other people that died that didn't have any ailments? And I think there was a murder down there.
Um,
Did we get any of that info? Did we put like a chip in these people?
and then I
Uh,
love how the one guy was like, I really feel like we should not put the mentally ill people with the physically ill people.
yeah,
And he's
yeah,
just like, you
yeah,
know that you're gonna have to submit a form bill, and that
yeah,
form is gonna get denied again. He's like, but we missed a lot of good data because the guy went crazy and stabby everyone. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? You should listen to Bill's suggestion here, you assholes. Like, what?
Why did
What?
Bill go? Hey, the guy with the mental issues, mental health is a real thing. Hashtag. Why are we having him damage our data down there?
Yeah,
Why are we
like
having that part of the?
clearly we didn't cure schizophrenia, and we knew
Is
that
anyone
very.
else a stockholder? Because I got questions.
Marlon Brando and Steve Buscemi were in a movie. It's like, all right, man. Oh, wasn't Robin Williams?
No, it was
Wasn't
like
it?
Al Pacino or something. It
But no,
was.
that's an easy one. That's called The Godfather. They were in that movie together.
Yeah, he didn't remember that.
Yeah, but it wasn't that though. It
He
wasn't
thought
that.
they started at two, and he thought it was based off a book.
And
I swear it's based off a novel written by some Italian dude.
then M. Night does his classic, slow reveal. The guy go like we see people go up, we hear Trent's voice, but we don't see him. We don't see him. And he goes, "You're a cop, right?" And he just hands him a fucking book. And the cop's like, "Fucking I smell a case. Let me open this shit real
Oh,
quick."
you're lucky. I'm thinking about copping today.
You're lucky that I love a good handwritten sci-fi story. Oh, names and addresses at the end? Okay, that's fucked up.
I like it. That's some meat to these potatoes.
Yeah. So then the cop starts copping. All right. And then Trent and Maddox, they're just like, oh, we got some guests to fucking greet. So they go, they're doing the usual greeting. Hey, here's your specialty drinks. Here's our cures that we're gonna test on you, you
Don't
old
drink
fuck.
that shit. There's no Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Yeah, he's just like, boom, Trent's like, oh, my body's awkward all of a sudden. Smashes the drinks. The woman just starts cleaning it up, like, just get, like she's real annoyed. She's
That
like,
woman was jacked, dude. She had some cut arms. She was very
yeah.
vascular. And I was like, ooh, is she going to like be a ninja at the end? And as I waited,
No, she's just gonna cry on the curb. I was like, what the
and
fuck?
so you had a bad day.
Yeah, she's like, I dropped the drinks and now we lost the Johnson & Johnson account. It's a really bad day, and I'm probably gonna go to jail.
Oh, yeah. We got addresses. We got names. Someone
Yeah.
named names.
And so he's just like, I'm Trent. I was 6 yesterday. Now I'm like 50 fucking 5, and life sucks, and I'm gonna
That
die
guy,
a lot
that
sooner
kid over
than I
there
want.
stirring the lemonade, that was my friend. He gave me this code. That's his uncle. What's
That's
up,
his
everybody?
uncle. Yeah, they
Roll the
don't look
footage
anything
of us
alike.
swimming away. I was like, why are you rolling
Yeah,
why are we going back to the coral?
because it really baffled all of us of how the tangled shirt got undone and how they
I
were able
was
to
so
breathe through the
upset.
very obvious fucking air pockets. And
I
if
was like,
M. Night had just done his job for 5 more minutes, he could have sniped their asses and called it a movie.
dude,
You
not
know?
only is he a lazy guy doing data research, he's a lazy director.
Yeah. And
I
that's
was
when he,
disappointed in him on all fronts. I was like, Shama, you can't even drive the van right. You can't even
yeah, he
fucking
was hitting every bump. I was like, come on, dude. Like, This isn't your first time down this road.
You get paid
You
per
gotta
bump.
get all of them. He's like, I do. He's like, I just want to see this van a rocking.
And I think
No
he
one
made the
comes a knock.
macaroni and salad, which looked delicious. So maybe that was
It
the one
looked
picture.
disgusting.
Uh,
It looked fine until she just started grabbing handfuls and just smashing it into her mouth. Not even like putting it in her mouth, just smash.
Listen,
I'm gonna just chewing with her mouth open,
when you're
staring
a
at him.
hungry
And
pregnant
he was
woman
just
that
like,
was
I'll
5
knock
years
you up
old
all
10
over.
minutes ago, you're gonna do what you do.
Yeah, but he was like, I'll fucking put another baby in you. You keep eating like that. So I would have believed him more if he was like, I got something else you can eat.
Yeah, I didn't believe that part because I was like, well, if he did have the little kid logic, he would try to put it in her butt so he didn't get a baby. So these kids aren't believable.
I don't think 6-year-olds or 8-year-olds are just like, anal sex. That's the only surefire child protection.
Kids nowadays, they're into butt stuff. That's all they know.
Yeah, because they don't want no boo boo babies. They're like,
Well,
I got a future. My butt's got
Snapchat and the
time.
TikTok. That's all they do. They're just on the butt patrol. That's it. Where's that movie? Well, that probably is a
Butt
thing.
Patrol. That's probably definitely a movie. So,
Sir, I think you're looking for Paw Patrol. No, I am clearly looking for Butt Patrol.
I am only here for butt patrolling. Okay, don't you tell me what I'm here for. I don't
I
need to see
swear
no
to
goddamn
God.
Paw Patrol movie. Okay.
I'm talking about the regular Butt Patrol, not that weird underage Shama version. Sir, that was not a thing.
That was not a thing. That's just called old.
My mistake.
But anyway, yeah. So we see the kids get free. We see the cop just calling people. He's like, they're missing 2.
He's on a chopper.
And no. We're not there yet, Kevin. And then the staff is like shitting their pants, freaking out. The cop is just kind of like, what's going on? Because then like the hotel kid shows up and like touches Trent's face and touches Maddox's face. Yeah, and then everyone's just like, oh God, it's true because this little boy's touching them. And you're just like, okay. And then they're on a chopper going back towards the murder island just to get close enough. And he's just like, we're going to storm this whole goddamn place. I was like, you're out of your jurisdiction, motherfucker. You ain't doing shit. Okay, this is an army
private
chopper.
sector. That shit took over.
Oh, no, that was an army chopper. Private sector was that. It already was private sector, Kevin. It got taken back over. They were like, nah, this is government shit now. We're going to fucking do these tests on this beach.
Yeah, so strange enough, in the comic, if I remember correctly, the child is the last one. They just grow up on the beach alone because the parents die, and it's just building sandcastles, run credits. There's no big pharma. I don't remember the rust attack with the rusty knife for the schizo doctor. It's just kind of more of a little bit of more of a message instead of like this big
born alone, you die alone
twist ending wannabe. And I really don't think it was a twist ending. I just thought it was just a tale that like this could have been an email, right? This would have killed in like a Twilight Zone format or a Outer Limits because that's about the meat that it had on there. That's about it. To add the clinical trial drug spin to it, okay. Like I kind of like.
Well, it's like I saw that shit coming. The minute that more than one person was sick, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but in all defense of Shama, like everyone's always looking for a hook with this guy. You're never going to go to any one of his movies and go, "What's the hook? I need the hook. Where's the hook? Oh, he's up to something." You can't really trust his narrative because everyone's always looking. I'd really like to see the guy just do something out of his wheelhouse, maybe like a rom-com or maybe
he's gonna show up and be like the bartender or something. And you're gonna be like, oh fuck, Shama, this is not good.
I've already resigned myself to the fact he's in all his stuff, like not unapologetically. He's just like, hey, he just literally waves at the camera. I'm gonna do my scene now, everyone.
No, yeah, he pulls a Hitchcock. Hitchcock did the same thing, so he's like, I'm doing that.
And I always feel like
he's literally said it
more sly about it. You know what I mean?
Hitchcock was because Hitchcock sometimes just put his outline in a movie, and he was like, "That counts." And they were like, okay,
yeah.
Like M. Night's like, no, I'm making SAG, and they're just like, oh,
all right, whatever, dude.
Seems like maybe you shouldn't, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something like I don't think this did not need to be a feature. I think, like I said, if 45 minutes, a strong hour
Yeah,
drama type of thing, then you
it
could have
was
some fun with it.
yeah, it was too long. Or if you're gonna stretch it out this long, I wanted to see more of the family development of when they age. Instead
Yeah.
of all this like running back and forth, no one's looking at these children at all. The most unattentive parents ever, but then they're just like, why'd you fucking grow up again? You know, and I guess that's the metaphor of like, oh, if you don't fucking pay attention to your kids, they're gonna just be grown up and fucking
Yeah, or
before you know
time
it.
short, like
But
time,
like
like
that's me reading into it because the movie doesn't take the time to ever fucking make you feel that, you know? That's me processing of like, oh, I guess that's what and that's why I saw a lot of people talking about this like, oh, it like makes you think about that. I'm like, no, no, this movie actually doesn't. You thought about that. The movie was just like, fucking over there, blah, 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 you know, done. The
well,
movie's too
no,
frantic for you to feel any of that.
right, because it's just like I said, it's just a bunch of people standing around saying things with distractions. And
Yeah.
I completely agree. If the movie would at least had a theme of like, hey, we might have to split up the family. Let's just do one last vacation. While they're young. This is their fucking wonder years, all that shit. And he's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I agree. We'll put our differences aside. I'm okay. Tell me that in the beginning. Show it to me with like a little uncomfortable dialogue between them, maybe in an elevator. The kids are splashing at the pool. And he's like, let's just do it, one last summer kind of thing. And then you kind of always see that put to the test, right? The stress of
Yeah.
the family and it pulling them apart. And now they're aging. And yeah, if that's a metaphor for, yeah, they grow up too fast. You got to make everything worth it. Cherish this shit because it's going to be gone and you're not going to be remembered. Like,
Yeah. Instead, it was like, oh, watch them rekindle their romance right before they die. What? I stopped giving the fuck about that
yeah,
the minute I saw them sitting apart from each other in that van, to be quite honest. I was
her
like,
cheating, you know what I mean? It was just so much extra. I didn't need it,
yeah.
because
He was
I didn't
like,
have I didn't have
that
time
guy.
for it.
Oh, that guy's a real ass cloud, though. Why'd you fucking pick that guy? I was
Yeah.
just like, what? He was just like, he's a joker, that guy. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
man, this guy got real old real quick with his dialogue. So
I don't know. It was just it didn't there was no time to do any of that because the time was so limited and
yeah,
time was so detrimental in the story that you needed to have something that could run parallel with it. Where's the tension? What's at stake? What's the risk? I don't need because then I would have enjoyed just the son getting out and then he loses his family. But
yeah,
he's just old enough to remember everything and he wants to start a family now. You know what I mean? Or maybe
yeah.
like
Like,
you see him on a date and she's like, "Are you a little old to be dating?" He's like, I missed a lot, and I just kind of want to get back out there, if you know what I mean. Something like that. And then you could have showed me like you could have pulled like a BioShock and just showed me a montage or just pictures of him growing old with his new lady, some kids. You know what I mean? And then the kids are just at his funeral. That could have been like the last couple of minutes. I'd have been like, all right, cool. He got
yeah.
something. He got to have that moment. He
Well, I
got to
mean,
have
shit,
that
man.
family.
I'd watch a sequel where it just started the kids, them trying to figure out life. You know, like in an 8 and 11 year old in those fucking adult bodies. You know, like them meeting their aunt that they tease. Like it was just like that line was like too witty and quick for a fucking 8 year old to say. Where he's just like, well, if a 51-year-old man called you and said they're your 8-year-old nephew, wouldn't you be freaked out? And the guy was just like, all right, touche, but this is my jurisdiction. Fly this military chopper. Like, it's like,
Yeah, man.
okay,
Like that's the story I would have told. I would have had
yeah.
that. He
Or
lost his whole family, but just and the dad knew. The dad knew we're not making it.
yeah,
You're
or
you're young enough to make it through the caves. The sister's not going to make it. We did the math.
let's see the military using that fucking beach
For what?
because
Like, what do you use that
that's what
beach
I
for?
want to see. I don't know, man. Fucking same thing and doing experiments and testing shit or
What do you?
whatever. I don't know. Just the military. If that really exists in the military, find out they're gonna be all over that shit. They're gonna be like,
We're
this is
gonna
our
breed
beach now.
super soldiers overnight. Like
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
still
All
got to have
sorts
the
of shit.
training. Like you said, it's going to be all awkward and
Making
clumsy.
making fucking uranium deposits overnight. They're like, boom, we put it here, it grows, we get someone out, we sacrifice a couple soldiers to get it out, done.
Uranium deposits, like we don't know what I don't think it affects like real molecule, like items. You know what I mean? Like inanimate objects.
Yeah, it did. Otherwise, the silverware wouldn't be rusty from being there for
Well,
years
it's
and
on. Yeah, but it's on the fucking beach. That's the thing. You don't know how many other people had been there.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
but
It
that's
would
what I was
be
saying. Where's the
interesting. Well,
skulls?
no, you know
Where's
that there's other hotel guests because he said it was hotel silverware. So
That's what I mean. Like, there's no timeline of how long they've been doing this. You don't get to see the remnants. Like, well, apparently the bones don't go anywhere
no,
because
they did eventually. Yeah,
so
you stop seeing the bones after a while. So,
I
like
don't know.
the old lady's bones, and they're like she just turned to dust.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
they
what's
mentioned it a
stupid. In
couple
the
times.
comic,
So.
they bury them.
And then
So the
like the dog, we never see the dog die. Is just
well,
gone.
yeah, he gets just thrown in a shallow grave with the fucking
Yeah. But
But
that's what I'm saying though, is like it would be interesting to be like, all right, what could someone come up with like with a military aspect of like what would the military use it for? Because you know they would. Like that's
yeah,
just
I
too
mean,
weird of a thing not to be like, all right, let's just test some weird shit over here, you know? Like I don't know. I'd watch that sequel if they're like, oh, here's the military, they got it now. You're like, ooh, okay. And
uh,
then, do the classic cheesy bullshit of like the son and the daughter, like, no, we'll stop you. You can't go to the beach, or
I mean, I know what you're talking about. I think it would be hard. I personally would like to
I
see it
do. I think
more
it'd be hard, but I'd like to see
on an
it.
intimate. I think it's more of an intimate story that just
Yeah. No,
what
either
this
one would,
coulda, shoulda been, and I think it just got botched.
but
I think the comic lends itself a little bit more towards the intimacy, and but Shama had to have a big movie. I mean, it's a movie, so it has to have
yeah.
something a little more bombastic, if you will. But yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's his most okayest movie that I've seen in a long time. I'll say that. Like I
yeah.
enjoyed Split, but this was like this was an easy watch. I'll say that. And
Yeah,
I
no,
think sometimes his movies aren't. Like sometimes it's like you're either all in or you're just like, man, I was fucking out like 5 minutes into this shit. But this one was just like, yeah, all right, I can finish this. you know?
and that's the thing, because it is intriguing enough to kind of really see what they do, and I mean, I'm playing along guessing. So if I'm that engaged, then you're doing your job to a degree, right?
Yeah.
I know. I think there's so many better things that it could have been done with it, but
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I just think I don't know. I guess Split really did. Split even had a kind of a little bit of a twist ending, right?
It had a huge twist ending. Yeah, it had like a
Yeah.
double twist ending. So,
What? Yeah.
I mean, a predictable one too, but
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I think the tricks are up, and I think he just needs to do something just not so gimmicky.
yeah.
I know he's done other items. I mean, I think his name is just so synonymous with a gimmicky bullshit that I'm good.
Yep. Well, that's old. Thanks for listening. You can find us on your favorite podcast provider. We hope that you'll share this with someone who also enjoys movies and podcasts. Find us on social media where you can reach out to us and say, hey, we don't bite. We'll say hi back. It's at Let's Movie Pod or Podcast, depending on the platform. Try either. They'll probably both work. And we thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube because, the YouTube, it's got all the monies in the world. So that'll always help us. But you got to listen to it a week later because otherwise, why the fuck we doing this as a podcast? And otherwise, we'll be back for more spectacular horror movies for all of October. Kevin, bid the people adieu.
See you later, dudes and dudettes. How would you feel if a 50-year-old man called you and said he was your 6-year-old nephew?
Probably gassy.